At first, good morning to all of you. I'm welcoming all of you in my today's class. We are going to start the second class of uh, Management Information Systems, and the course code is CSE 451. And all of you are from section C. And this is summer 2020. So let's start our first class, first lecture basically. In our previous class, we basically discuss about the course outline. Okay, I gave in my introduction, you gave your introduction. So that was basically course orientation class. But in today's class, we are going to learn about some content from our syllabus. So let me share one slide with you. After that, I'm going to start my discussion. And let me know whether you can see my slide or not.
Sir, your voice not heard actually. It's just
My voice is not clear.
no. Your voice is clear, but sometimes it's just stop.
Okay, all right. Okay. Maybe because of internet issue.
Yes, sir.
All right. So can you guys see the lecture PowerPoint slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
So now, okay, let me open it in slideshow mode. Okay, all right. So yes, as I'm mentioning, this is lecture number 1, and the title of the lecture is what? Introduction to MIS. Okay, so in this lecture, basically we're going to learn about, the basic concept of MIS, the very basic concept of MIS. Let's see what we have in this slide, the slide content. At first, we're going to discuss about what is management, what is information, and what is system. Separately, we're going to learn about these three terms: management, information, and system. After that, we are going to learn about definition of the definition of MIS and what is the main purpose of MIS. Okay, these two terms. Uh, First of all, what is the definition, and second one is what is the main purpose of MIS. Third topic we're going to cover characteristics or features of MIS. What are the basic characteristics of MIS? Then quality of an excellent manager. Who is manager? And as an excellent manager, what are the qualities we should have? And at last, I'm going to show you managers in the field of MIS. I mean, as a MIS personnel, as a MIS professional, what might be your profession? So these are the things I'm going to discuss in our today's class. So let's start. At first, here you can see they are mentioning that MIS is the combination of business and computer science. In your first class, I also mentioned the same thing. MIS is the combination of business and computer science. So here you will get some concept from business and some concept from computer science. And the main thing is that here we are going to uh, learn about what is the business application of different management system. Like we have HR management system, we have decision support system, we have business intelligence, we have customer relationship maintenance system. So different computer system, different computer software we have, but in this course we are going to learn about what is the main application of those business application of those softwares or the applications. So as I already mentioned, now we are going to learn about management, information, and system separately. Then we will combine them. Okay, then we're going to learn about the definition of MIS. So now what is management? Management is the proper utilization of resources. Management means simply proper utilization of resources. Whatever the resources we have inside the organization, as a manager, we have to ensure the proper utilization, and that is called basically what? Nothing but management. In the formal definition, you can see here, effective utilization of human and material resources to achieve the enterprise objective. Okay, what is the main goal of business? The main goal of business is to gain profit or maximize the profit. To achieve that goal, what you have to do, you have to ensure the proper utilization of your resources. Now you might ask me one question, sir, what are the resources we have? Basically, to remember this one, to memorize this one, there is a formula that is called 5M. Okay, 5 M's. Okay, let me write it down. 5 M's. Okay, what are the 5 M's we have? Man. Okay, first one is man, then money, then machine, then man, material, machine, then money, and at last method. Okay, so these are the 5 M's we have. Okay, and these are the resources we have inside the organization. We have manpower, we have material, we have machine, we have money, and we basically follow some method. And under this management task, what you have to do, you have to ensure the proper utilization of these 5 resources. Is that clear to you? What is management? Any problem to understand? Anyone?
Yes, sir. It's clear. No
Okay,
problem.
thank you. So now, what is the main part of, process, of this management task? So mainly, you have to perform these 5 tasks, okay, under this management work. Okay. At first, what you have to do, you have to make plan for your work, how you are going to complete the task, how we are going to achieve the goal. You have to make a strategic plan. Then organizing means, now according to your plan, you have to collect all the things, like what should be your budget to execute that work, to perform that task. How, what should be the amount of your budget, okay, or other things you have to consider, okay, as organizing part. Then you have to think about your manpower. Staffing means you have to recruit human being, you have to recruit manpower, and you have to assign them, you have to train them basically. Okay, that is under staffing. Then you have to direct them according to their work responsibility, their job responsibility. What you have to, as a manager, you have to give them direction. You have to perform this task in this way, that task on that way. You have to give the direction. And at last, you have to control your manpower or the resources. Okay, that means if any person make any mistake, you have to take the corrective action for that action, okay, for that mistake. So these are the 5 tasks you have to perform under management. Okay, these are the 5 functions they are mentioning here. These are the 5 functions of management. Okay, basic functions. Okay, right. Planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Again, I'm mentioning planning means you have to make a plan, you have to make a strategy. Then organizing means whatever the resources you need to perform the task, think about your budget. Okay, you have to think about the budget and other things. Then staffing means recruiting manpower and train them. Directing means you have to give the direction how to perform the task. And at last, controlling, you have to control the resources. If any person, any human being make any mistake, you have to take corrective action. That means you have to follow up, you have to monitor your task. So this is the management part. Any problem, any question so far regarding this management part?
No, sir. No question.
Okay, so here at first we learned what is management.
No,
Then we learned what are the resources we have, 5 M's. And third point, we learned 5 basic functions under management. Okay, right. Now next topic I would like to discuss. Okay, let me clear it. Okay, next point is, okay, hierarchy of managers. Okay, inside any organization you will get this hierarchy. Okay, hierarchy of managers. Okay, so here you can see we have first line manager. Okay, first line manager, or they are called basically lower level management. Okay, mid level manager. Okay, mid level manager or middle management, and then top level management or high level executives. Okay, so this is the hierarchy of the managers. So let's see which task they have to perform according to their job responsibility. Those who are lower level management, they basically report to the middle management. They basically give report to the middle management. Okay, then supervise employee. What are the subordinate they have under them? They basically supervise them. Then coordinate activity. They basically coordinate day-to-day activity. Okay, they basically coordinate day-to-day activity, are involved in day-to-day operation. Okay, so these are the main task of this, main responsibility of this lower level management. They basically give report to the middle level management. They basically supervise the employees, and they basically conduct the activities which they need to perform daily basis. Okay, like some examples are given, the designations are given, like team leader, okay, assistant manager, okay, foreman, shift manager. They are the lower level or first line management. They directly work with the worker. Okay, that is the thing. Suppose think about any super shop like Shopno, Agora, Mina Bazar. Okay, so in this organization, uh, you can find out the floor in charge. You can find out the floor in charge. Okay, and those floor in charge, they are basically what? First line managers. Okay, at the very, early in the morning or very beginning of the day, they basically assign the task to the employees. Those employees basically work under them. Okay, so and next day they basically assign again the task among his or her employees. Okay, so these are the responsibility of this first line manager. Okay, they basically perform what? Day to day operation. They basically plan for a day. Okay, now let's move to this mid level management. In mid level management, basically what they do, they basically report to the top level management. Okay, they basically provide information to the top level management what basically going on inside the organization. Then oversee first line management. They basically look after the first line management. Okay, then develop and implement activity. They basically make plan according to plan. According to those plan, they basically direct the first line management. Okay, and allocate resources. They basically allocate resources. Again, think about a super shop. In super shop, you can see a regional in charge. A regional in charge. Okay, under that person, there might be 10 to 12 outlet. Okay, 10 to 12 outlet. Okay, uh, they basically make short term planning. Okay, they basically make what? Short term planning. Okay, and write it down in short term planning. They basically make plan for maybe 6 years. Okay, or 6 months. Okay, or 1 year, 2 years. Okay, like that they basically make short term planning. Okay, and they allocate the resources. They develop and implement the activity and oversees the first line management and report to the top level management. Some examples are given: regional, plant or division managers. Okay, this is the designation. Okay, right. And those who are the top level management, what they do, they set the objective for the organization, like what should be the motto, what should be the strategy. Okay, what should be the aim, what should be the objective of an organization. Okay, these basically set by the top level management. Okay, think about our organization, think about IBAT. Okay, those who are the top level management, like those who are the VC, pro VC or director admin, they basically set the objective of IBAT. What should be the aim of IBAT, what should be the goal of IBAT. This type of strategic plan developed by the top level management. Then scan the environment. Okay, before start the business, they basically scan the environment, and then they start the business. They basically do the market analysis. Okay, then plan and make decision. Okay, those who are the top level management, they basically take long-term planning. Okay, long-term planning. Okay, like after 25 years, what should be the position of my company? Okay, after 50 years, what should be the position of my company? This type of long-term planning done by this top level management. And here you will get some designation: CEO, Chief Executive Officer; COO, Chief Operating Officer; CTO, Chief Technical Officer. These are the designation held by this top level management. So is that clear to you, this
Yes, sir.
hierarchy of managers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Again, I'm
Yes, sir.
recapping the whole thing. So first line manager, what they will do, they will make day-to-day plan. Okay, day to day plan developed by this first line management. Okay, okay, day-to-day plan. All right.
Sir, can you please some example of real life examples,
Okay,
sir?
I already mentioned one example. Let me give another example. Like, think about IUBAT. Okay, think about IUBAT. If you consider the IUBAT, those who are the faculty, okay, they are basically what? First line management. They directly involved with the student. Okay, those who are coordinator or chair, they are the middle level management. Okay, under those manager, number of faculty are available. Okay, and those who are VC, pro VC, director, admin, they are the top level management. Okay, this is the general example I can give you. Okay, but the main activity of first line management is what? They will make day-to-day plan. Okay, they will basically look after their employee, and they will give report to the first line, middle level management. And middle level management, what they will do, they will look after the first line management, and they will give report to the top level management. And middle level management, they will make short term planning, like planning for 6 months, okay, planning for 5 years, like that. Okay, they will allocate the resources. And top level management, what they will do, they will make long term planning, like planning for 25 years, planning for 15 years, planning for 30 years. Okay, they will set the objective, goal, mission, aim of the organization. Okay, then they will scan the environment. Okay, what new thing we can incorporate in our organization, what new thing we can adapt, which thing we have to terminate. This type of strategic plan developed by this top level management. Right, so these are the things we have. And here you can see, right side, you can see the definition, designation. Okay, designation of those managers. Okay, like first line manager, team leader, assistant manager, foreman, shift manager, they are the first line manager. Then regional, plant, or divisional manager, they are the middle level management. CEO, COO, and CTO, they are the top level management. Okay, is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
In another sense, I can say that those who are top level management, they basically make strategical planning. Okay, strategical planning. Okay, those who are middle level management, they basically make tactical planning. Okay, tactical planning, tactics. Okay, tactical planning. And those who are first line management, they basically make what? Operational planning. Okay, operational planning. Okay, okay, so now you might ask me one question, sir: what is strategical planning, what is tactical planning, and what is operational planning? Okay, so I'm giving you some idea about this strategical planning. Strategical planning means, you can understand, strategy. They are going to make what should be my company's strategy, what should be my organization's strategy. Okay, like what is the aim of my organization, what should be the mission of my organization, what should be the vision of my organization. So these are the things basically what is strategical planning. Okay, then tactical planning. Tactical planning means actually what? The strategical planning set by the top level management. Now, how I am going to achieve my aim, how I'm going to achieve my mission. That is called actually what? Tactical planning. This is developed by mid-level management. And operational level management, they basically make the operational planning. That means how your lower level employee will work, how your lower level employee will work. Okay, that is basically operational planning. Okay, so top level management, they just tell us that you have to perform this task. Okay, top level management give order to this middle level management that I need this thing. They're not going to give you any detailed plan, but mid level management, they are responsible to make a detailed plan, and they are going to provide that plan to this first line management. And first line management, according to that plan, first line management assign the task to the lower level employee. Okay, that is the thing. Is that clear to you? Hierarchy of managers. Any question, anyone? Any question, anyone?
No, sir, it's clear.
Okay, thank you. Let me clear it. Now I am moving to the next part. No need to see this thing. All right. Now, management done. If you have any question, you can ask me. Some of you are raising your hand, I can see. Is there any question so far?
No, sir.
Okay, I guess not. Okay, management information system, out of these three terms, management part already done. Now come to the point, information. What is information? So before discuss about this information, we should know about data. Can anyone tell me what is data? Any of you? What is data?
Collection of information.
That is the mistake you basically make all the time.
Sir, this is Omar Farooq, sir. So data is raw fact,
Raw.
which has no background, contextless, sometimes meaningless.
Very
All
good. Very good. So this is correct. Okay. So the first definition you mentioned, that is basically incorrect, and this type of definition you basically give during the I basically saw many of you give this type of definition in your comprehensive viva even. Okay. Data not means collection of information. Data is the raw fact. Data is the raw fact, and it will not give you any meaning. After processing data, after manipulating data, we get information. Okay, that's what they're telling here. A given fact. It is a given fact. It might be a number, it might be a statement, or it might be a picture. There are different form of data. Okay, so represent something in the real world. Okay, but it will not give you any meaning. When we process data, we basically get information. So information means process data. After manipulation of data, we get information. Again, think about, and I can give an example about this data and information. Suppose now in this class we have in total 41 participant, and I am collecting all of your data. Your data means I am collecting all of your age. Okay, and after collecting all of your age, I am what I can do, I can find out some information after manipulating this data. I can find out who is the eldest one, who is the youngest one. Okay, what is the average age of the class? This information I might get after analyzing those data. Okay, so that is called basically information. So data means raw fact, and information means process data in short. So we can say that information is the basics of decision making. If I ask you question, why we need information? Why we need information? Basically, we need information to make decision. To make decision, we need information. Suppose I would like to purchase a mobile phone. At first, I need information about different mobile phone. After analyzing, after comparing those information, I can make decision. I can make decision. That's why when if you need to make any decision on that time, at first you need information. Without information, if you take decision on that time, it might lead you in wrong direction. Is it clear to you? And as a manager, all the time you have to take decision. And as a manager, if you take decision without depend on any information, that decision might be a wrong decision, that might cause a huge loss for your organization. Suppose as a manager, I would like to invest suppose 1 lakh taka, okay, to purchase some machineries, okay, but without taking information, without collecting information about the machine, if I just depends on my forecasting, if I just depend on my gauging power, then it might lead me in wrong direction. That might be a loss for the organization. Okay, that's why as a manager, when you take decision, you need information. That's why they're telling lifeblood of management. Information is the lifeblood of management. So to perform the management task, you need information. Without information, you will not able to perform the managerial task. So that's why they're telling this is the lifeblood of management. Like as a human being, without blood, we cannot sustain, isn't it? We cannot live. Okay, so same way, without information, you will not be able to run your managerial work. Okay, that's what they're telling. Lifeblood of management. Information is the lifeblood of management. Okay. Now they are telling another information here. So why people need information? Individual people need information for entertainment, enlightenment, decision making, problem solving. And for business purpose, we need information for decision making, problem solving, and control over the organization. So is that clear to you why we need information, or what is information? Any problem to understand
Yes,
this information part?
no, sir. Thanks.
Okay, all right. Okay, now I'm moving to the next part. Okay, so here you can see one example of data and information again. So here what we can do, this is the picture of an e-commerce website. Okay, so what they are doing in this part, we can see some data, left hand side, okay, and right hand side we have information, okay, and in between this we have this information system, your computer you have here. Okay, so what you are doing, when you purchase any product from any super shop like Shopno, Agora, Mina Bazar, on that time they basically scan the barcode, isn't it? And barcode is the combination of some number. So if I give you that barcode and if I say that, okay, what do you understand by reading this barcode? Can you say something about the product by only reading the barcode? So it is not possible to say something by reading only the barcode. But when you scan the barcode by using the barcode scanner, on that time you are storing that information or that data inside your computer database. Okay, so suppose here we can see the product list. Okay, the product ID is given here 331. This is the product ID given here. Product name given here, Bright Dish Shop, and the product price given here $1.23. Okay, so this information given. So in this way, other product information also given, and we are manipulating this data, and we are getting some information. We are getting information about item number 331. The product name is Bright Dish Shop, and we are basically sold this amount of, okay, this amount of dollar for this product. Okay, yet to date. Okay, till today we are basically sold this amount of product, this product, British Dish Shop. Okay, so okay, that is the thing. So in this way we can convert data into information. That's why I'm saying data is the raw fact and information is the process data. By using our computer, by using our information system, we can process our inputted data. Okay, in the information system, when we are giving input, we are basically giving data as input. Our information system responsible to process those inputted data, and at last it will give us some output as information. Okay, is this example clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Sir.
Now let's move to the next section. Okay, third term is system. We already learned about management, we already learned about information, and third term we have, that is called system. Okay, so inside any system you will get some interrelated components, and those interrelated components will work together to achieve a common goal. Okay, that is the thing. So inside the definition of system, mainly we have three terms. First of all, inside any system you will get some interrelated components. Interrelated means those components will depend on each other. Okay, interrelated component. Then those interrelated component will work together. Okay, and at last why they will work together? To achieve a common goal. So this is the formal definition of system. So we have different types of system. You can see here: education system, political system, national system, information system, system laws, computer system, human body system, car system. Different types of system we have. Okay, let me give an example, then the whole concept will be clear to you. Think about a car. Inside the car we have number of components, isn't it? Can anyone tell me what are the components we have inside a car? Car system, CAR, car, vehicle. What are the components we have inside the car?
Sir, engine, body.
Okay, engine, body. Then anything else? Engine, body.
So
Then
sound system,
sound system. Then
Brake.
brakes. Then
moving
sorry.
parts, sir.
Okay, then
So then
we have
ventilator,
wheels, isn't it? Wheels.
Microcontroller.
Okay, microcontroller,
Yes, sir.
steering,
Wheels, sir.
isn't it? Steering,
steering.
gearbox,
Yes, sir.
isn't it? Number of things we have inside a car, isn't it?
The number of component combination
Right,
of
right.
a car.
Number of components we have, right? Number of components we have inside the car. So
Oh, sir.
ultimately,
Yes, sir.
these components are interrelated. Okay, so they basically depends on each other. Okay, for an example, usually we have 4 wheels inside a car. Okay, in a car we have usually 4 wheels. Suppose forward 2 wheels moving forward and backward 2 wheels moving backward. So is it possible to accelerate that car? What is the main goal of car? To be accelerate, isn't it? To be accelerate. This is the main
Yes, sir.
goal of a car. But forward 2 wheels moving forward and backward 2 wheels moving backward. So is this possible to in this situation, is it possible to accelerate the car? It's not possible, isn't it? So we need a coordination, we need a combination among those components. Which component basically available inside the car, isn't it? So same way, think about the computer system. In the computer system we have number of hardware, number of softwares available. Okay, so in your computer system all the components are okay except your microprocessor. Is it possible to run that computer? What is the main goal of the computer? To calculate something. Your computer will not be able to do the calculation. Everything is okay except the RAM. Is it possible to run that computer? Not possible, isn't it? Again, think about the human body system. Inside the body we have number of organs. Okay, so inside this human body system we have number of organs. So and those organs are interrelated. Suppose if I want to move my hand, I need to give my instruction from I need to get my instruction from my brain, isn't it? If your brain does not work properly, you will not be able to move your body parts, isn't it? So these are the example of system. So the main definition here, inside the main definition we have 3 points. Inside any system you will get number of components, interrelated components, and those components will work together to achieve a specific goal, to achieve a common goal. So is that clear to you? What is system? Any questions so far about the system?
No, sir.
All right.
Can I repeat it again?
Which one should I repeat? The system part.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So inside the definition of system, mainly we have three parts. First one is, inside any system, you will get number of interrelated components. Second point, what those components will do, those components will work together. Why they will work together? To achieve a specific goal or common goal. That is called system. Okay. And subsystem means part of the system, part of your system. Okay. And the subsystem, I mean, number of subsystem might be available in your inside your system. Okay. And those subsystem might be interdependent. One subsystem depends on other subsystem. Like think about IBT automation system. In IBT automation system, we have number of subsystems. So your grading system depends on your attendance subsystem. Your grading subsystem depends on your grading, attendance subsystem. Because when we basically prepare your grade, we have to consider your attendance as well. Okay. So in this way, subsystems are interdependent. One subsystem depends on other. Okay. That is the thing. Okay, so now already we have idea about management, we have idea about information, we have idea about system. Now we should understand what is the relationship among them. What is the relationship among them? So can anyone tell me from where we will get the information? From where we will get the information? Now I'm talking about the relationship in between information and system.
Sir, from the system we can get information.
Very good. So that means after manipulating data by using computer system, we will get information. Simply from the system we are going to get information. From the system we are going to get information. Inside the organization, every time we are producing huge amount of data. By using only human brain, it is not possible to analyze those data, manipulate those data. We need automated system to analyze, manipulate those data. So system will give us the information. And what is the relationship in between management and information? What is the use of information to the management? What is the use of information to the management? Can anyone tell me? What is the use of information to the management? Why managers need information? Can anyone tell me?
To make decision.
Very
about
good.
the organization.
To make decision, right? To make decision, managers need information. Very good. Okay. So now you understand what is the relationship among them. Managers, they are using information system. Why they are using information system? Process data. After processing data, managers, they are getting information. Okay. On the basis of those information, managers are taking decision for their organization. Right decision, they are making right decision for their organization. So is that clear to you? What is the relationship among these three terms? Management, information, and system. Any problem to understand this thing? I guess not. So let's move to the next part. So here you can see the relationship. Okay. So inside the system, we are giving input as data, and as output we are getting information, and managers, they are going to use this information to make right, proper, accurate decision to ensure the future growth of their organization. Okay, all right. Now let's see what is the formal definition of management information system. Okay, what is the formal definition of management information system, MIS? So here you will get the definition like this. Management information system is an information system that evaluates, analyze, and process an organization's data to produce meaningful and useful information on which the management will take right decision to ensure future growth of the organization. Okay, it is a very small definition, isn't it? No, not at all. It is not actually small definition. It's a very big definition. But if you, try to memorize this one in a systematic way, then it will be very easy to, understand the term. Okay, the definition of management information system. Let me, slice this long definition. Okay, first point here, MIS is an information system. Management information system is one kind of information system. The first point we have here. Okay, then second point we have, what this information system will do. It will evaluate, it will analysis, it will process an organization's data. Why it will evaluate, analysis, and process organization's data? To produce, third point, to produce meaningful and useful information. Why it will produce meaningful and useful information? On which management will be able to take right or proper decision. Why manager need to take right or proper decision? To ensure the future growth of their organization. Okay, mainly 5 points we have inside this definition. I'm repeating the thing again. Management information system is one kind of information system. Okay, we have different types of information system. MIS is one of them. Okay, we have BI, business intelligence. We have DSS, decision support system. Okay, in this way we have number of information system, and management information system is one of them. Okay, so first point is MIS is one kind of information system. So second point is number 2, second point is what it will do. It will evaluate, it will analysis, it will process organizations data. Okay, why? So that it can produce meaningful and useful information. What is the use of this meaningful and useful information? Number 4 point, so that manager can take right or proper decision. Why manager will take right or proper decision? So that they can ensure the future growth of their organization. So these 5 points, if you try to memorize in a systematic way, then easily you can write down this long definition, no problem. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now what is the main purpose of MIS? Why we basically use this MIS? What is the main purpose of MIS? What is the use of MIS? Okay. So the purpose of MIS is the smooth running of the business by providing information about the organization. Employees from different levels, different level means different hierarchy, top level management, mid level management, and lower level management. Employees from different levels will then evaluate this information so that decision can be made to ensure that the business remains competitive and successful. So this is the thing. Okay, if you understand the definition, easily you can write down the main purpose of MIS. What is the main purpose? Main purpose is provide right, accurate, correct information to the managers so that they can ensure the smooth running of the organization, to ensure the future growth of the company. Okay, this is the main purpose. Okay, you can write it down in your own language even. Okay, right. So this is an important question, huh? What is define MIS with its main purpose? Define MIS with its main purpose. So I'm requesting to all of you, please keep one note with you always. Okay, so that you can write down the important points. Okay. So any problem to understand this definition and main purpose of MIS? Any problem? Anyone?
Sir, please repeat the purpose of MIS again.
The main purpose.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I'm repeating the main purpose of this MIS. So MIS basically what it will do? It will collect information or data from different sources. Then it will process those information. It will process those data and it will give us the information. Okay. On the basis of those information, your manager will be able to take right, correct, proper, accurate, timely decision. Okay. And why they need to take the correct or right decision? So that they can ensure the smooth running of the organization. Okay. They can, here you can see the smooth running of the organization. And in this way, managers will be able to ensure the future growth of the organization, or they will be able to maximize their profit. Okay. What is the that is the main goal of the organization. Okay. So this is the main purpose of MIS. So do you have any problem to understand this point? Anyone?
Sir, I am Jion, sir. I have one problem, sir.
Please.
Sir, employees from different level will then evaluate this information. So I don't understand this line, sir.
Okay. So we have different levels of manager, isn't it? Okay. In our previous slide, we learned about different levels of management. Okay. If you remember.
Yes,
Okay. We have top level management, we have middle management, and we have first
Low
line
level.
managers, isn't it?
Management.
So different levels of management we have. Okay. So I mean, your information system, it will process data and it will produce information. Then you have to circulate those information into different levels of management. Okay. So that is the thing. Okay. Is that clear, John?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I understand, sir.
Okay.